friends, welcome back to another great day of learning. Yesterday, we practiced learning about these readers build good habits. And yesterday's good habits that we learned were take a sneak peek and then how to check your sneak peek, right? So we're going to learn a new one today, but we're going to keep building our habits onto each other. So we're still going to do sneak peeks, even though we're learning a new habit. And that new habit says do something at the end. Now that sounds kind of silly, but we are going to practice that right now. And some things that you can do at the end. So I have a little anchor chart that says do something at the end of a book. And I have 4 different things that you can practice at the end of the book. The first one is reread a favorite part. So if there was one part in there that was funny or made you feel happy or something happened that's exciting, that could be your favorite part. So you could go back and read that part again. The next one is reread the entire book, the whole thing. If that whole story was one of your favorites, you can reread the whole thing. Number 3 is think about the parts of a story. If there was one part that really stood out to you, you can refer back to that one. Or if you are trying to think about each part of the story, like the beginning, the middle, and the end, you can think about those parts. And the last one kind of goes with what I just said, which is retell it to yourself. And that is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. So you can practice retelling. In first grade, we're going to try all of these different things to do after we're done reading a book. And it's okay if you read a book more than once. Totally fine. So the book that we're going to practice today is called The Fantastic Fish Sitter. And we're going to go through, and remember, we're practicing all the habits. So the first one we have to do is take a sneak peek. So if I look at the cover, this girl looks a little mad. Her eyes look angry, and she's shaking her finger at this Kit Kat. Wonder what the cat is doing wrong. She's also holding a fish that has some crazy looking eyeballs. Let's take a sneak peek at the beginning just to see what this book may be about. So on the first page, we have 2 boys who are coming into the house. And this might be a little sister, and she's holding a fish bowl with that fish in it from the cover page. And there's that cat peeking through the window like he wants inside. I wonder if this cat wants to get the goldfish. Let's see. Oh, the boys, I bet, left a note for the little girl. Maybe like how to take care of the fish. Maybe they're leaving her with the fish. And they left some notes. Looks like she's reading it, and the fish is like, what? Wonder what's on that list. We'll read it here in a second. Looks like she's trying to be a good fish sitter, but is literally sitting on the fish instead of just watching it. She's trying to sit on it. In her mind, that might be what a fish sitter does. But there's that sneaky cat trying to get to the fish. I wonder if the cat is going to get the fish. Looks like she's brainstorming different things to get that cat to leave the fish alone. Oh, and look, there's a swimming pool with a stool and a pot and a box with the fish bowl with the fish in it looking out of binoculars. How funny. So he is probably keeping watch for that sneaky cat, and she's trying to brainstorm how to keep him away. I wonder if that's going to work. Let's go back and read the book to see what is going to happen and see if our sneak peek is kind of on the right track. Here we go. I'm Tom, and this is my best friend, Pradeep, who lives next door. We have a big fat zombie goldfish named Frankie. Unfortunately, my big brother Mark has a cute but evil vampire kitten named Fang. Everyone knows kittens and goldfish don't get along, but cute evil vampire kittens and big fat zombie goldfish really don't get along. So when we asked Pradeep's little sister, Sammy, to look after Frankie, we thought we should give her some helpful tips. 6 really important tips for, they scratched out babysitting and wrote fish sitting, a zombie goldfish. Number 1, keep Fang away from Frankie. Number 2, zombie goldfish only eats green food, moldy Brussels sprouts, green jelly beans, stringy pond slime. 3, all kittens can be super sneaky, but Fang is super sneaky. 4, watch out for Frankie's eyes. He can hypnotize you, which means put you under a spell. 5, did we mention that Fang, the vampire kitten, is trouble? 6, seriously, keep Fang away from Frankie. I think we made our point. So the little sister is reading the list that I just read. There's that fish looking on. Sammy showed right away that she would be a great fish sitter. She's sitting on the fish. When she eventually figured out what she was supposed to do, she took her fish sitting responsibilities very seriously. Sammy drew a plan for a fishy protection zone with booby traps to keep out cute, evil vampire kittens. She even added a lookout tower that turns with Frankie to keep watch. But kittens are sneaky, and Fang is super sneaky, with extra sneaky sprinkles on top. So he dug under the plant, and he's in the ground, hiding. She is also a master of disguise. In no time, Fang had managed to sneak up behind Sammy and Frankie and pounce. So the cat's trying to get to the fish. Fur flew and fins flailed, teeth snapped and tails thwacked. Claws were bared and green eyes stared. Naughty kitty, Sammy shouted. She put her hands on her hips and used her best mom voice. Put Frankie down right this instant. Cat has the fish in his mouth. Oh no. Just as Sammy was about to order Fang to leave, Fang turned on her special power of kitty cuteness. Look at those cute kitty cat eyes. Sammy was powerless against it. I suppose we could all play together, she said. I could kitty sit too. Fang and Frankie imagined the fun games they each wanted to play. So the fish wants to throw water balloons at the cat. That's what he's thinking. And the cat wants to juggle with the fish. Unfortunately, Fang and Frankie found it difficult to play nicely together. They couldn't agree on a game that didn't end up with somebody being swooshed, squashed, or splashed. Or zombified. So that, remember, the goldfish can hypnotize the cat. If you can't play your games nicely, said Sammy, then we'll play my game instead. But Sammy's game was not their idea of fun. When Pradeep and I got home, we couldn't believe Fang and Frankie were playing together, and they were being nice. We told Sam she was the most fantastic fish sitter ever. She totally deserved the extra scoops of ice cream we gave her to say thanks. Maybe cute, evil vampire kittens and big fat zombie goldfish can get along after all. Well, sometimes. Now they had an ice cream fight. The end. Well, that was the end of our story. I guess I'm going to go get a new book. No, wait a minute. Miss Taylor taught me to do something at the end of a book. Let me refer back and think. So when we're done, boys and girls, we don't just close the book and be like, okay, I'm done. We don't do that. We can reread our favorite part. We can reread the whole book. Maybe if you reread the whole book, you can read it to somebody and say, hey, I really love this book. Can I read it to you? And then you can read it to them. Or you can think about parts of the story and then retell it to yourself. So let's practice rereading our favorite part. So my favorite part is this one. When the cat was getting to the fish and they were like fighting to get away from each other, and then the cat caught the fish. And then Sammy says, put Frankie down right this instant. That's my favorite part. So see, I went back after I was done reading to my favorite part of the story. If you choose to reread the whole book, that's fantastic. Or if you just think about different parts of the story, you can flip back and go, oh yeah, in the beginning, the two boys who were best friends went somewhere but had to leave the fish with Sammy. And the sneaky cat was trying to get in. Notice how I'm going through and just retelling what happened. And then the boys left Sammy some helpful tips. And Fang tried and tried to get to Frankie the goldfish. He tried really hard. And when Fang got to Frankie, he tried to use his special kitty powers to get out of it. And then they tried to play games. It took a lot of time for them to get playing nicely. And then Sammy made them play her favorite game. And the boys came back and were so shocked that Fang and Frankie were actually getting along. And Sammy was the best fish sitter ever, so she got ice cream. Then they got in a fight again. So you can retell different parts of the story, okay? So I challenge you to do something at the end of a book when you read it. You can reread favorite part, the whole book, or retell the beginning, middle, and end. That is what readers do to practice good habits. Okay, I challenge you to do this to maybe the same book you read yesterday, or you can find a new book just like I did. Okay, have fun reading. Bye.